There you go. Now we're live.
Oh, hi everybody!
Hello, good people of interweb.
Hello, humans and beans, and all things in betweens.
In between the beans.
And we're out, everybody.
I know, right?
Yep.
Good stream. Good stream.
All right,
Good stream.
bravo. We're done.
You came up with that. We're not gonna get better than that.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle. That was the
We
peak.
came. Yeah, we came. We saw. We kicked its ass. Good night, everybody.
Yep.
So hello, welcome to episode.
Welcome everyone.
23 of the Remnant Gamers podcast. Who are
Today
you people?
Today is June 7th, 2020.
Is it?
We are the Remnant Gamers, of which I am Servo. And making the sounds, we have the Direct Edition, the Freezy Chocolate Chibi, aka he's got some other names. Welcome.
I think we all should start doing our intros like 80s television series.
I'm about that
like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, or along the lines, they'd be like, and introducing, I'd be like,
Hey! You have like a baseball.
Hell yeah.
And to my left, we have, well, not on your screen, but to my left, we have the amazing Moose.
What up, people? My hair's a tidal wave, and I'm sleepy. How y'all doing tonight?
Did you say your hair is a tidal wave of sleepy?
The hair's a tidal wave, and I'm sleepy. How y'all doing? I am a tidal wave of sleepy.
Yeah. I think you're a little bit more Paul Phoenix than you were last week.
Yeah, I'm getting shoot. You know what? Eventually, I'm just gonna have that pillar of hair. I'm gonna go full Paul eventually.
You should.
I
would
will.
be proud of you.
It looks looks
Yeah.
a little less like insane wave as it did on Friday.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, do
It's
a
more.
little bit.
Today is more like a spike as opposed to like a tidal.
Like a curly wave. Yeah.
Like you could
yeah.
definitely like attach some metal to it and just make it into a blade, just a weapon, just headbutt
I'm
people.
all about this.
I'd be down with
And
that.
Squibs requesting a
And-
pompadour.
Ooh, Pompadour would be nice. And we also have our well, he's like, he's that guy, he does the stuff. That's all the good stuff that we that we got on the It's Jono, guys. Jono. He does
That guy. Oh, that guy.
That's a pretty apt description.
I've done stuff. I'm not
Sailor
proud
Moon.
of it.
He do things I done running.
Love and peace.
Love and peace.
Rock and roll.
Jono, you would make the best awkward Sailor Moon
I'm
that
just
I could possibly imagine.
just the best awkward
Like-
human. It's just my
Like you would change into your outfit and then you turn around and be like,
I'm here
You
to
traditionally
fight
wake up late with a piece of toast in your mouth, so it's a perfect fit.
I'm here to fight
Exactly.
a crime or something, maybe. I
with
got.
the power of the moon, I'll punish you.
Why am I in a mini skirt right
What?
now?
Because it feels good.
Why am I
and
so white
drafty.
out today? What the hell's going on with my camera? I just realized I'm white as a sheet.
Evil.
There you go. That's better.
Evil, prepare. You're in for a scare.
There you go.
Make it double.
And make it double.
Moose, you're bright again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's his monitor.
What you're saying
Yeah.
is
He's looking at something very bright on his screen.
the proper way to say that is, Moose, you're glowing today.
I know,
Good.
right?
It's
You're
lovely.
very glowy today.
It's lovely. You're gonna get John a Sailor Moon outfit. No, Boo, please no.
Your
Yay.
wave of glowiness.
I know, right? Let's see how that looks.
I think I'm at least a size 14, by the way, just in case you wanted to actually do that.
Perfect.
Anywho, hello everyone. Welcome to Remnant Cameras Podcast. We do stuff here.
Welcome. We
We
do all the
eventually
things.
talk about things.
Yes, I just work here.
I don't even do that.
I just work here.
Hello.
Don't change his hair color.
Hi guys.
We do all kinds of stuff. We're the best at stuff.
I
right.
stuffed something once.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Okay.
Speaking of stuffing things,
hope it wasn't a light socket, and that continues on for the rest of the night.
exactly.
Oh, there's the segue.
Speaking of stuffing things, it seems that the Target is getting kids off the TV video game screen by releasing a brand new game, which I am so excited to talk about that I just jumped into it blindly without really knowing anything about it.
Speaking of stuffing things, I've actually talked to quite a few board game shop owners, and they're not excited about that because it really undercuts their sales. What this exclusivity does from Target.
It's
Out of, and I do have to say, out of the big chains, Target, Walmart. Shit, those are only two. Maybe Best Buy sometimes. There's not
trading cards. No, I mean really.
There's not really a
especially around
Kmart.
here.
There's not really a Kmart
No,
anymore.
I don't. I mean,
So it's
I don't
like-
know. I'm kind of pressed to try and even think of another one that carries Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is that they're taking Pokemon cards and actually turning it into a board game that you can play, and I'm very excited about it because I used to play Pokemon with my oldest, and he's very excited about it because it seems to take a lot of the competition out of it, and it's I believe a 2-player game,
Yeah.
and you can buy the board game, and it comes with the deck. I just saw Jono, and we
About that life. Let's go.
we derail each other's trains, and he derailed mine today.
The headphones almost worked with it. Almost.
I was just waiting for how long it was going to take to derail the train.
Oh my god!
Not
Amazing.
long.
I'm glad that you had that nearby. To go back to what you were saying there for just a moment ago, Walgreens, Family Dollar, and GameStop also carry Pokemon cards.
Okay, good deal. But Target is actually getting this Pokemon card board game. What's the official title of it? Is it like Pokemon trading card board game or
It's called Battle Academy.
Battle Academy?
Yeah.
Target
It's called
is-
Battle Academy.
they're actually getting they're getting their release a month before anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like GameStop being able to sell Call of Duty a month before anybody else.
Yeah, and it's actually hurting a lot of our local board game shops. Because they also did the same thing with Disney's Villainous. I don't know. I dive into board games a lot. I don't know if anyone else does, but you can usually only find Disney Villainous at Target about 6 months before anywhere else.
Yeah, and I like Villainous too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but it looks cool. I like the card design for those.
Yeah, it's actually
So-
pretty fun.
So
But see, I
Pokemon
like the
trading card
artwork.
game. Yeah, I played it a handful of times, and all the expansions that they're releasing for it. They're also releasing a Marvel version of Villainous, which I'm super excited about. But I think I'm a hold off because I like supporting my local board game shop.
Yeah,
So
I can agree with that. Like Darby's Dungeon.
Indeed. You can get
Not
it.
sponsored. We
Ask
just
them,
happen to
ask
be
them
big
to get it
fans.
from their distributor. But yeah, that's I mean, I always enjoyed the battle the card battle system with Pokemon. I always thought that was a pretty cool way of adapting the video game into a card game. So, and it's really easy and a lot of people can get into it. But then there's also, just like with Pokemon, there's also like a huge like meta for tournaments and stuff like that where people have gotten really down into the details of how the cards work and like made insane stuff over the years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those card games.
Pretty crazy.
It's one of those card games. This has just got a really, really low barrier for entry, but the shit you can do with a deck like scales to the dumbassness of like high level play.
Yeah. If like I said, I used to play with the oldest. We did a couple of tournaments at Cool Stuff, and oh man, it was. I went for support, and if they needed an extra player, I didn't like getting into when you bring your own deck, when you put your deck together and you play. I didn't like that tournament format. I was more enjoyable when it came to when you buy the blind decks.
So like drafting.
Drafting, and then you just pay, because I felt like everybody was on equal playing field when that happened, and it was luck of the draw. You just built out of what you got from the cards you bought in with. So, and really the kids who won, who were the ones that kind of excelled at math, and you started to see some of the same people show up to clean house repeatedly. So it kind of got old real quick.
Yeah, that's a lot of TCGs though. Like a lot of the higher tournament ready kind of ones are always very like, if you're better at doing math and what is in your deck and focusing on what you need to do and how to do it correctly and get your combos off, then you typically are going to be the ones that are ahead in things. Like especially like Magic, like running a control deck or running a burn deck, you have to count things out individually for everything. And I imagine it's the same for Pokemon still, because they still have to get their evolutions correctly. They have to be able to pull out their EX cards at the right time. They have to make sure that they pop prizes in the correct order, things like that.
Yeah, and
it's
one
like
of the reasons,
like any other card game.
Yeah, one of the reasons I stopped going was that they also had, they had adults playing on one side and they had kids playing in another league. But you had some of the adults like scamming these kids out of their cards because they didn't know what they were worth or the value of the card that they had. And it kind of pissed me off a little bit because I didn't think that was right.
Yeah.
And, I felt like the management should have stepped in, but they were more along the approach that, oh, well, they can look it up on our system to see how much the car is worth. And I'm like, dude, these are kids. And they're like, I'll offer you these 2 shiny that's not worth anything for that 1 shiny that you have. And then the kids are like, oh, yeah, cool, let's do that. And then the 1 shiny, and then 1 shiny they give away is worth $90 or something. And those 2 shiny are 25 cents a piece. And I'm like, dude, that's, yeah. So I stopped going before I got into a fight.
Yeah, I used to have to protect the shit out of my stuff, especially like when I pulled Charizard during original set. Everyone's like, I'll trade you a Venusaur and 10 other cards for your Charizard. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No. I know my card's value.
But I am excited.
Those Pokemon value card yellow pages that just had each individual pricing on them.
And I am excited about this Battle Academy. I want to find out if you can use a custom deck in it as well, because it comes with a deck also. It comes with enough for you to play a 2-player game. So I'm kind of interested. It might get me back into Pokemon TCG.
There you go. That
Yeah.
seems worth it right there. The fact that
I'm-
they're willing to give you enough to hit the ground running is nice.
Right. Yeah.
But when do I get another Pokemon TCG game? When
Play
can
the
I
one
play
they
that?
got.
Yeah. Isn't the one they got still going? Don't you still get codes for online play?
No, not like that. I mean like the old like Game Boy Color one that came out forever ago.
Oh man, they have to do some serious moderations for that.
They apparently made a sequel, but it only released in Japan.
Doesn't it always?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to play. I want one of those again.
Yono, didn't you? Damn it, I called you
Now
Yono.
you call me fucking Yano. I see how it is.
It's a thing now.
This is your
Yarno.
fault, Squib.
Yarno.
Didn't you say you had Pokemon TCG on Tabletop Simulator?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, all
There
right.
you go.
I might have to get down on that.
We can play some Pokemon.
Wear off some of this ring rust.
You wanna throw down some cards? I also got Magic on there too. We can play. We can play some
I
games.
played one game of Magic in my entire life.
Okay. You know, MTG Online is pretty easy to get into.
It is. It's a lot
worth a
of fun
shot.
because you can go. What I like to do with new people is to just play the very standardized deck, and the power levels are very even for the most part.
Mhm.
It all comes down to strategy.
Yeah, they give you a pretty hefty bevy of pre-built decks if you play MTG Online for free. You just gotta do here's some tutorial missions. Cool, you did a thing. Here's a pre-built deck. Here's another pre-built deck. And they give you one for most colors in color combinations. So it's pretty nice.
And then when you start to learn what the better cards are, like how to determine what card is better, basically, then the decks kind of build themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then what your
Yeah.
play style is and how you adapt to it and all of that good stuff.
Or if you're like me, a visual learner, I just net deck shit, play it, see if I like it. If I can't figure it out, try something else, switch some cards out. It's like basically copy pasting a deck list.
I'm not a visual learner. I have to learn by doing repetition. I learn by repetition.
Kinesthetic
Then-
Squad hype.
Yeah. Then there's yet another option where you can look at YouTube videos and they'll show you how to play the deck.
Hmm.
You just copy what they do, and then if you like it, then you win all the time. If you don't, switch decks.
I kind of feel like if I start playing Magic the Gathering online, it's going to lead to Magic the Gathering in person. And then we're all going to need team shirts where we go to tournaments and just wreck the shit out of people.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah, I was better. I'm really in for those.
Again, me and Servo met
Honestly,
playing Magic, so
If you keep talking like that, I might get excited.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Doesn't
I'm
happen very
on
often,
the borderline of being extremely hyped right now, and I'm trying to contain myself.
We all
Yeah.
get Magic the Gathering jerseys and just.
I'm the kind of person, lad, that if you start talking like that, I'll show up to the next podcast with the jerseys and be like, "Have you started playing Magic yet? I got the jerseys already."
I'll reinstall that
Can-
shit right
what?
now. I don't give a fuck.
Can we?
Yeah.
I mean, I already have
Free.
it installed. It's free. Yeah. Can we just
I
have
installed
jerseys
it on
to
your machine for
begin
you.
with? Can we go ahead and get Remnant team jerseys?
Is there a?
Um,
Am I hearing a Magic the Gathering game night coming up?
I'm on it.
I'm all about it.
I'm literally typing it in right now. This is happening. Go ahead and move on to the next thing. I already
Sounds
think
like
I-
we're putting it on our
Oh.
Trello right now.
The next thing is Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, and we're gonna have jerseys. And it's gonna
Oh,
be
shoot.
game
What was
that
our-
have our names on it?
What was our transition? I forgot it already.
Speaking of not
Speaking
getting
of
knocked out,
Speaking of stuffing things,
Ah,
Magic the Gathering has banned some very, very fine cards, in my opinion.
Were they cards?
Yeah,
I thought they
a
were
little
players. Oh no,
No, they
they're
were
cards. What did
they're
they ban?
cards.
But yeah,
It's been a while since we've had anything
banned-
added to the actual ban list. It's been since
and Fires of
the
Invention
last Sliver
and
set?
Agent of Treachery. Fires of Invention and Agent of Treachery.
All right,
If
so
you'd like, I can.
you guys are gonna have to explain to me what those cards do, because, like I
So,
said, I've played once.
So
Yeah.
Fires of Invention, and here I'll explain the card, and then I'll kind of give you an idea of what it does in a quick and easy way.
All right.
It's an enchantment card. So you play the card, it sits on the board, it has a continuous effect. That's what enchantments. This card in particular says that you can only cast spells during your turn, and you can't cast more than 2 spells each turn, which is very limiting. It also says that you may cast spells with a converted mana cost less than, which is basically the cost of the card. Your mana is how you pay for the card. Equal to or less than the number of lands you control without paying mana costs.
Yeah, so basically
if,
you're
for
getting free
example-
spells every turn, depending on your lands that you own, your mana that you have.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And you can only do it twice. You can only do it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Because
is a
card says you
red.
can only play 2.
Yeah, and the reason that it got banned, just from a slightly outsider's perspective, but kind of understanding Wizards' ruling on it, is effectively red decks are really predominantly focused around creature card synergy, and you kind of often run into the point of, oh, okay, well, I do have some sorceries and instants that I could throw out here, but I should probably get my creature presence going, because you're basically trying to just beat face as fast as you can. But if you throw Fires of Invention on the board, every turn, I'm going to get 2 free spells on my turn, so that just frees your mana for slaughtering with, just dropping creatures. So you can just put Fires of Invention down. Those 2 things are probably going to be face damage, and you're dropping creatures to just beat face, and it spirals out of control just so fast.
Because the more powerful the spell, usually the higher the cost. And this card in particular removes the need to worry about the cost of the card. As long as you've got the number of lands on the board to support it, it's just, I play it, whoop, it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, they can respond, but for the most part, usually the limiting factor is the cost of the card itself.
Yeah.
And then Agent of Treachery, it has a really high mana cost, but it can also take permanents from your side of the board, for example, your lands or your creatures or your enchantments, and puts it on your side. And so you can use other cards like Coppercoat Outcast or probably like Joiner Forces, and that allows you to take their permanents and then you just put it on your side of the board, and now you've got their really powerful thing, and you didn't really have to do anything to get it.
Boy, think about America Control with that, with like
that's
red, white, blue, just
basically the combo.
Full banish, full board wipes every turn.
Exactly. So you're taking their big cost spells out of their hand. I mean, off their big cost permanents off of their board. So all they've got is spells, and you're getting all your spells for free. Frees up all your mana to just basically take care of any threats that they might have left.
That's too nasty.
It's just broken as shit. Yeah, it's super broken.
I can understand why it made it to the ban list then.
Yeah.
How often do they ban
they've
cards?
done it before with other cards. They do it all the time.
I mean, they do certain bans, like small bans depending on sets and things, but they don't do full out bans.
Right.
Unless it's like an absolute, like, this has gotten out of hand kind of thing.
Well, I should say, not constantly, but over the years, and there's been a lot of years that Magic has been in the game, they've banned many cards, but it's usually because either a new card interacts with an old card in a way that they didn't expect, or a card that's kind of in the mix that got forgotten about has now gotten a new purpose due to an interaction with a combination of cards. And so they'll either restrict it or they'll sometimes even change the way that card works as opposed to banning it. Sometimes, like in this case, these cards, that's their function. And if they change them, then it kind of loses the function as the card. So they just say, okay, well, can't use that card in tournament play anymore. Obviously, if you and your friends want to fuck around with Fires of Inventions and Agents and Treacheries, then have fun with it.
Oh god, you could take infinite turns with that too.
Oh yeah.
You could just fucking
you can really abuse it.
What the fuck was it called? Time warp, time melt, the time turner one that just takes an extra turn.
Time walk.
No, I'm thinking about the one that had a flashback on it.
Oh,
the newer one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, but
Don't affect my ass though. I'm still happy with my graveyard of using black decks, and I'll still play Is It Drakes if it's not a deck that I can build for the format. I'll go Is It Drakes every single day.
Oh my god.
Drakes were strong. Drakes were super
strong.
So I had my OBS open and I just got my dono alert. And I was like, why am I getting a dono alert on OBS? I'm not even streaming. I bought a coworker lunch and he's paying me back through the Streamlabs website.
Awesome.
Scared the shit out of me. Because I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's like, da.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's my hardest.
Pretty great.
Yep. Up to 75 from my usual 60. Whew. All right. So let's go to the next one. I'll just keep it going here.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuffing things, Gang Beasts has now become a self-published game with Double Fine presents coming to a winding down point. I didn't know about this. I didn't get to read this one.
I mean, we haven't seen anything really coming out of Double Fine since Microsoft acquired them a couple years ago.
Right, that's what I heard.
They've really kind of just like.
What have they made other than Gang Beasts?
Oh god, what has Double Fine made other than Gang Beasts? That's the big one that I know, but I know they've done a lot of indie games prior to that.
They were Psychonauts.
Yeah. Oh, they had Psychonauts 2 still coming out.
Yeah, they have a couple good games. Oh, Costume Quest. Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah, but we really haven't seen anything coming out of Double Fine in the last few years, honestly. Apart from like updates to Gang Beast and the promise of Psychonauts 2, which I'm still pretty excited for. So Gang Beast, the developers have decided to part ways with Double Fine and publish on their own, a la how Bungie did the same thing last year with Activision.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which could be very interesting.
Gang Beast is solid. We need to play that together.
I have
for real.
I love Gang Beast a lot.
I haven't played it.
It's very much like Knockout Party, but with a little bit more like variety into it. Like there's a couple different game modes, like a horde mode.
Development a lot longer, right?
Oh yeah, no, at least like 5 years, 6 years, something like that. Actually, no, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, about 6 years or so. It's been from development to now. And it's finally released on like multiple platforms, and it's gotten a lot of updates over the years for like different things. They added like a Rick and Morty costume set into it, and they're very like up to date with all of their stuff. But I don't know how they're going to continue to sustain as a self-published studio unless they're going to be adding in some form of like Bungie's been very, very rough right now because they've had to like move around and go through like season passes and microtransactions and things to really sustain the company. But I don't know if the Gang Beast studio has anything else that's in mind that they're going to be making, or if they're going to be adding in some form of microtransactions, some sort of big update, like paid updates for Gang Beast or DLC or anything like that. Because that's what I potentially see coming down the line.
Gotcha. I mean, like I said, it looks like a really solid, like, kind of party game, you know? Like, I was just saying in chat that the first time I saw it, it was on Node and Corridor channel.
Oh, I love
and those
them.
guys always have a blast playing those type of like co-op, like, you know, Gary's Mod and shit like that. So yeah, I think that would be a blast to get into with our group. And if they keep, you know, developing it and things are to improve, they're independent, that's even better.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, regardless, it's still a good move on them, especially like if they're very well aware that like Double Fine's been winding down, there's not a lot of like additional support coming through, there's nothing really being pushed, then yeah, go take the initiative, go be your own studio, and we'll hopefully see good things coming out of it.
Fingers crossed. It is always interesting to see a breakaway, and it's like you just hope. It's like, all right, you broke away. You know, you're not under the thumb anymore. Do something dope. Please do something dope.
You do something.
Hey,
Do dope.
Hey, do stuff. Do dope stuff. Yeah, do dope stuff.
Like milk. Like milk, Squibble?
Yeah,
I like it.
He's condensing like milk. Very delicious.
Speaking of condensing like milk, Cyber. Sorry.
I gotta say, are super excited for this game.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people are pretty excited for this game.
You can customize your dong. I mean, what's not going to be excellent about this? I can make my dong in a game.
Well,
I don't even care about that. Like, I just want aesthetic of the game. Like, I'll just be happy. I don't even care what it's like. It's just the way that it looks. Some things that they've talked about that you can do.
So
So excited.
You're cutting in and out like every other sentence in there.
I'm so excited. Super excited. Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I absolutely am excited too. It's got like all of the aesthetic and the love and the feel that like Deus Ex had, but more. It's like Deus Ex
exactly.
if that game had like full on fucking anarchy as well. And I'm so about it.
It feels like it's a progressive game in the way that like society actually like kind of gets to this point in a way that makes sense. Like kind of like in a Blade Runner type of way, but again, it makes more sense than the way Blade Runner looks. You know, like for example, the genital editing, like that's something that people would want in real life. So
Right.
they put it in the game like, well, hey, this is real. You know, people.
I don't want to use my legs anymore. I want to pogo everywhere I go.
Exactly.
Bring dong, activate.
So I mean, like, there's somebody out there who's just gonna have like 2 penises and that's their legs, but because that's what they wanted and it's possible with technology. So
technology's amazing.
But what more importantly, I mean, they might. Who knows?
Go gadget spring dong.
Like some serious.
I don't know if I
serious like calluses or something going on.
I don't know if I want to live in the world where everyone has the Spore character creator just on hand.
Yes.
This sounds like a very frightening
you'd have to
time.
pay for it too, so I mean, look around you, Jono.
Yeah, but
what's
then
more
we're
frightening?
We're gonna
penis
go
legs
out into
or
fucking back alley doctors and goddamn drive down to Tijuana and go get some dick hands.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna wake up and they're gonna be lumpy and just lopsided, and everyone's gonna fall off on you randomly.
I mean, go to someone who's qualified to give you penis hands. Don't just go to like your Uncle Frank down the street who runs this operation out of his van.
I mean, I'm just saying, someone's gonna be like, "This is too expensive. We should go find a cheaper deal."
Like, hey, buddy, give me $50 and we'll put tits on your thumbs. Yeah.
You pay. You get what you pay for.
Why would you even want to have tits on your thumbs?
Penis hands out of your van.
Would be the joy out of that?
That would never happen. Let's just agree on that. That no one's ever gonna do that. If you say it, then it's possible. So just don't even think about that. Otherwise, someone might do it.
I don't want to live in a world where that's not the case. Yeah, buddy.
With the Cybertruck. I talked about a Cyberpunk truck, and then Elon Musk was like, I have this idea that I totally didn't steal from Servo.
No, did you see it? He stole it from fucking
what?
He stole it from Halo 1 back on
the
original.
Warthog.
He was just like, I really like the way that
Halo 1 stole
look.
it from Blade Runner.
I mean,
and Blade Runner stole it from me. I was thinking about that as soon as I came out of the womb. I was like, Google Gaga Cybertruck. But no one ever listens to me anyway. So what I was going to say was, right now, Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red, they're saying that they had an event that they were planning. Nobody really knows what it is yet. It could be some sort of trailer or a gameplay event or a gameplay trailer or a demo, or there's a lot of rumors flying around about exactly what it is going to be.
It's just going to be Keanu Reeves walking out again and saying, "You're beautiful."
Yeah, it could be one of their like mysterious, weird like Twitch streams where they make you wait for 15 hours before they show you like 1 iota of the game. Who knows? They're delaying it. It used to be that it was going to be June 11th, I believe, and now they're moving it to I was just looking at it and all this talking made me forget. I want to say the 24th.
25th.
25th.
Oh, it used to be the 25th, but it was delayed from that day.
No, it's delayed to the 25th.
No, delayed to the 25th. It will be happening on the 25th.
To the 25th. Okay, I was close. But
trust us,
so
newscasters.
regardless of what it is, I'm super excited to see that. So hopefully it will be some type of hands-on, even if it's just like, let me see what the character creation is like. I will shit my britches.
I will be nowhere near Servo's house during that time. And I will make sure that Batsy has spare change of pants for you that day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got your back, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Now, speaking of squishy, sticking things,
stuffing things.
Oh, that was an actual segue.
Right.
Speaking of Thanksgiving stuffing things. So
you're doing great. You're doing great.
So there's this game called Do Not Feed the Monkeys.
How many times has this happened before?
Good question. I don't have an answer because I don't have those kind of analytics. So this game, Do Not Feed the Monkeys, released on Switch with an accidental E rating and has not changed from the Switch store still. I believe to this day it's still set for an E rating. But in
for everyone.
E for everyone. Not E for eroticism. But that's what you get in this game. It's a game where you're going through like different cameras. It's a very like voyeur kind of game, where you're going through like different camera views, different like fractions of like lives and things, and there is scenes in there with like with sexual content, with explicit content. I think there's like a dominatrix in there at one point that you can just kind of switch a camera and see.
Like all games should have.
Exactly, like all games should have. And this game is available on your Nintendo Switch.
It's rated E for everyone.
It's rated E for
Rated E for E, baby.
So needless to say, Do Not Feed the Monkeys was given the wrong ESRB. And it's still, as Jono said, on the Nintendo eShop. I think it's not available in Europe though.
I don't think so.
You know, I wanna check that real fast. You guys.
And there's a demo. There's also a demo. So if you want to check it out, download the demo. See if there's any strong sexual content or nudity or voyeurism, and report back to us and let us know.
I'll let you guys know in a
you
minute. As soon as my Switch updates.
From what I understand, this has never actually happened before, where they released a game with a rating that was too low. People have reported, from what I understand, according to the recent internet articles, that games have been released with a rating that was too high, that was like mature, when there really wasn't anything to speak of in the game. Like how they gave, I think they gave one of the Smash Brothers games, if I remember correctly, like rating or something, because Wario fart.
Can't have the kids seeing that.
Needed a yeah, like we don't want kids knowing that people fart.
Blasphemy!
Don't do that.
No, the proper word was blasphemy.
Ayo.
No, the game has been updated.
Oh,
good.
So it has a correct rating?
It is now rated M for mature.
Dang it.
Darn.
It's right there.
Curse it all.
Right there.
Dang it, Nintendo and your fancy corrections.
Mm-hmm.
Darn. But it is $12.99.
Yeah.
In case you wanna look at some voyeurism stuff. Whatever you're into.
Yay!
Sweet. I mean, think of the children, but also sweet.
Don't think of the children while you're doing voyeurism stuff.
Oh God!
Please.
Yeah, wait. Never mind. Never mind. I retract.
Let's go ahead and clarify real fast.
Yeah, let me put a huge retraction on that statement.
Jeez.
This is something we don't want to do.
Yeah, so speaking of squishy stuffing things.
Good transition. Let's get away from this as quickly as possible.
Yes. From what I understand, this is Moose's favorite game.
I enjoy this
Kingdoms
too.
of Amalur Re-Reckoning was leaked on the Microsoft Game Store. Oh, legit, yeah. Jana, you're a fan of this game?
Yeah. Why are you guys not?
I also have it.
I mean, I haven't played it, so
I have it for Xbox 360.
Yeah, I've had it for 360 and for PC for a little while.
Okay, well, I was making a joke because I've never played it, but
I mean, it's all right.
It leaked on the store, and I thought that was cool. That now we know that it's coming out.
It had a very good story, but a very gameplay to it.
Gotcha.
Heavy fantasy RPG. Kingdom of Amalur: The Reckoning was written by a very popular fantasy author too, which his name completely escapes me right now.
R.A. Salvatore.
That's the one.
Yep.
Wait, heavy fantasy like Game of Thrones heavy, or like
yes,
kind of akin
Lord
to
of the Rings
Tolkien.
heavy. Okay.
Yeah. Think more like that.
he also wrote quite a few Star Wars novels before they became non-canon.
Yep.
So
Oh, gotcha.
that's where I knew him from, R.A. Salvatore. And also the artwork was done by Todd McFarlane, which I'm a huge comic book fan, so recognizing those two names. Yeah, recognizing those two names on the game, that's why I picked it up.
Yeah. I legitimately enjoyed it, so I'd be okay with seeing them re-release it, but also I don't really think that it didn't do well enough to do a re-release.
I think that was because it was caught up in the.
It was caught up in the Skyrim time.
Well, agreed. I was gonna say more so that the company that was putting it out, they filed bankruptcy.
Well, they filed bankruptcy because the game definitely did not sell anywhere near what they marketed for.
Yeah, they were counting on the one game that they've made. It was the only game that they made, and they were counting on it to save the entire company. And I think the game studio was created by a former baseball player, and yeah, exactly. They just kind of went to shit.
Yeah,
interesting.
They threw a Hail Mary like you do in baseball, and it didn't score.
Yeah, they went for the 3-pointer in baseball, and it didn't work.
Struck out.
They tried to do a Quidditch.
They tried to catch the golden snitch, and instead they got called the golden loser. Got him.
Lovely.
But the rights to it was picked up by Nordic in 2018 because a lot of the fans wanted to see a second part to Reckoning, but because it didn't do so well, that was out of the cards. But we are getting a remastering. I'm not crazy about the name.
Yeah, me either.
Re-Reckoning?
The
Re-Reckoning.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's like trying to say, yeah, totally not as shit as our last attempt, is basically what that boils down to.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
If it does...
redone to be better than before?
Remember us?
Why didn't they just call it re-release?
Right.
It's the same thing.
Something.
Right. It's remaster.
Redonkulous Town.
Retry.
Yeah, there we go.
Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning Remaster Edition.
The hello. Oh, hello.
But as far, I think it's just getting updated visuals, refined gameplay. Other than that, I'm not seeing. I mean, there's some DLC, but other than that, I'm not seeing anything else that's gonna be new. Yeah.
No, I think honestly, it's more of them wanting to put it back into people's scope and be like, can we pique interest again? It was like a very niche cult classic. Can we pique some interest?
I'm all for that.
You wanna do something? And then they'll be like, okay, now we got part 2 coming out.
I'm all for that.
I mean, THQ Nordic has been very much about that, because they did they picked back up the Darksiders games, and they were like, okay, Darksiders 3, and here's this other one that no one asked for, and we're maybe gonna make another one.
Which is also Darksiders 3 is also tied to another comic creator, Joe Madureira, for his gaming company Airship, who also did Battle Chasers.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm formally aware of that.
What'd you get there? Is that Chipotle?
It's a Chipotle burrito bowl.
Chipotle.
That's a Chipotle.
Yeah, that's the dankness right there.
It is. I was gonna say, I think the last THQ game that I played was WCW versus NWO for the N64.
Oh boy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Classic.
I really like the Darksiders games for 1 and 2. Prior to the original like bankruptcy and company shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, were the original 2 also THQ?
They were picked up by THQ. They weren't originally
okay.
them.
Because I only played the original one too.
It was done by another studio, and then they shut down because of supposed low funding, even though they had a shit ton of sales from both of those games.
Gotcha.
It was during one of the big mass, like every company shut down. It was like the same year that Dead Space or that Visceral game shut down.
Oh, I also played Red Faction Guerrilla.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I love destructible environments.
Mm-hmm.
And that game was fully destructible. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Ooh, Drawn to Life. Oh, so many memories happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drawn to Life, Scribblenauts,
and Drawn to Life. Just being able to summon Cthulhu.
Yeah, just like wait,
they were good times.
I know a lot of words. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, I've got a vocabulary. Let's go. Speaking of digging things up from the past.
Oh boy.
So I'm actually gonna download and play this because I'm very curious because we never got this game. Does anybody remember Dead Island and the mini sequels that no one asked for apart from the actual sequel to the game that we wanted?
I played the Dead Island, like the original when it first came out, to see how, like, because I was like a Left 4 Dead fan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm not anymore for some reason, but at the time I was like,
cool.
yeah, Left 4 Dead, super cool. But Dead Island was like one of those games where I was just like, nope, took it right back to play and trade and traded it for something else.
It was a weird thing because we were promised this super expansive game when they first showed it off at E3, and it was amazing. And they launched with probably one of the worst launches of that entire year. Game was a complete 180 from what we originally saw. The box for it, because I remember I was working at GameStop at the time and I was super excited. The box for it said that it had multiplayer, it had local co-op multiplayer, split screen, and every single person brought it back that same day going, bro, I can't play with this with my homie. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I have a story about that actually. So Dead Island, it was a huge thing in my circle of friends when it came out, and I was like, yo, I've got a PlayStation, let me go out, let's have a Dead Island party. So I went and I bought extra controllers, I bought the game, and we all we ordered in some pizza and shit, and we were like, hell yeah, got it up and running and everything, made sure everyone was able to get onto the PlayStation. And then I was like, all right, let's fuck some zombie ass, and then got into the game. And then it was like, oh, okay, only I can. Okay, maybe I'm the only one who can do the menus. Okay, well, maybe this is just a tutorial where I have to do this, y'all watch, and then you just drop in. Maybe it's like, maybe it's like drop in sort of play. And then we're sitting there, get through the fucking tutorial, and then we're all just kind of sitting there. And then I fall through the ground in the geometry. I just fall right through it, and no one can join in. And then I nearly broke my own back about to scream into the heavens, why did they allow this fucking tripe to be mishandled and misrepresented in such a way? And I fucking never trusted that Deep Silver fuckheads again. God, it makes me mad to this day.
So that being said, I still had a ton of fun with the actual game itself for like what it was, because that game led to Dying Light, which is a much better version of Dead Island.
I was gonna ask that because I wasn't sure. I only got to play like maybe 30 minutes of Dying Light altogether, and I've heard really good things about it. But
I fucking love Dying Light.
Like the predecessor to Dead Island.
The Dying Light, yes, it's a spiritual successor to Dead Island.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I always thought was like, oh, This looks like what Dead Island was supposed to have been.
It took everything that
'Cause I
Dead
had a
Island did
similar
right
story.
and just
Yeah.
amped it up way more, and then took everything that Dead Island did wrong and then switched it and fixed it. That being
Yeah.
said, originally they were supposed to resolve all the issues that people had. They were going to make a sequel that was supposed to come out. They ended up slapping together like a little like 1.5 kind of game that released. It was more of like a narrative kind of storytelling game. Nobody asked for it. It was cell shaded. It was done by a third party developer instead. And they were like, whatever, fuck it. No one's going to pay attention. And no one did.
Yeah.
So 2015, we were supposed to have Dead Island 2. The game that was supposed to release then has leaked online, and people are playing it. People are playing the shit out of it. And I will be one of those people soon.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it, because I was like, if this game is better than Dead Island 1, which is not a very far shot to really go for.
I was about to say it's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, then I will absolutely love it. I love zombie games. I love zombies. I love open world exploration games. I'm about it.
I dig it. I fully support this.
I think that was around the time that I started really getting into my kick of survival games, honestly. Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that was probably right around like a year or two after New Vegas came out, and that really sparked a lot of my like survival game love. And then Dead Island came out, and I was like, okay, more survival. And then I just kept wanting more and more and more.
Give me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
My first survival game, like many of us, was Oregon Trail.
Hell yeah.
After that, I don't think I played anything that was even remotely survival until like
Elder Scrolls?
I was gonna say, is Elder Scrolls like survival?
I consider it open world survival.
Yeah.
Snake Eater was kind of like a survival. I do remember that being like
Yeah.
considered very loosely a survival game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was like,
Snake Eater was my first one.
Nice.
and then really I hadn't played anything. I didn't play anything that was like really survival based until I got into Minecraft, which was like last year. So I'm like kind of new to the survival genre.
Me too. Yeah, my next exposure was Stranded Deep.
Nice.
Well, I've
Step into
besides
my
watching
cave, gentlemen.
Jono and you, Servo, play Green Hell.
Oh yeah, Green Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super
you can
excited.
definitely-
We're jumping into some more like different survival games on Wednesday. Moose and I are gonna
Yeah.
try out Volcanoids.
Yeah, I was about to
Oh,
say,
that's-
shameless plug. If you're into the if you're into the whole survival thing, you should come check us out on Wednesdays. Jono and I are pretty much just surviving shit on Wednesdays now. This seems to be our niche.
It's
I like
a
that.
steampunk era like kind of survival game, but you're like building up and surviving in a giant drill, and you have to constantly survive like a volcano that's going off, as well as a whole bunch of other like steampunk mech enemies that are constantly attacking and invading, and it looks like fun.
Oh, I take that back. Space Engineers. I played Space Engineers before I played Minecraft.
Nice.
And that one had me hooked for a long time too. Space Engineers.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that game.
Yeah, anime has warped my sense of expectations though, because as soon as I saw the giant drill on the box art for what we're going to be playing Wednesday, I was like, is this going to be Gurren Lagann? Am I going to like build a robot so big I can start throwing galaxies at other big guys with drills throwing galaxies back at me? Can I jump a shark?
The heavens?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do that, then play Space Engineers. Because
Pretty
you can make gigantic freaking drills that can drill through planets. They'll fucking chug your computer till it dies, but you'll be able to do it.
I mean,
I support this.
we've all played Crisis. It's fine.
True. Oh boy. So our next topic is
it's actually kind of our next few. They all kind of run together, actually.
Yeah.
I have to agree. But it starts with a lot of video game companies kind of responding to the current trend of events with delaying things. It kind of goes along with actually the thing we already talked about, which was the Night City Wire with Cyberpunk. They're delaying that event because of, for the most part, the protests. So
Yeah.
Call of Duty, Activision, they delayed their season 4 debut. There's a couple other ones that I'm aware of.
Sony delayed the
PlayStation
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation reveal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Street
and I'm not
Fighter
sure what
delayed one of their large tournaments, as well as Capcom delaying a couple of their big tournaments.
Yep.
And they kind of said it best where they were like, we can really, we're taking a step back to allow the voices that need to be heard to be heard.
Yeah. Now is not the time, was the wording that I was seeing quite a bit.
Yeah,
which I have to agree with.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, and I don't know how much you guys looked into this in the last couple weeks, but man, there's a lot of people out there who are pissed about this. Like absolutely livid. They're boycotting the companies. And of course, Activision Blizzard caught a little bit of backlash because of their support of what's going on in our country. But when it came to other countries, like we've talked about here on the podcast before, they didn't exactly speak
Blizzard.
up. And it's because...
Yeah, I would say rightfully so that they're catching flack for...
I agree.
Completely agree.
It's just like, hey, we're going to support, this movement that's wrong, but not this movement that's wrong, because most of our stockholders or shares are from this country and we don't want to piss them off. But we're still on the bandwagon with you guys over here.
Yeah, it's because this country isn't lining their pockets. Where when everything was going on in China, they were like, "Oh no, let me just whatever you say, it's fine. Just don't affect our shareholders. Don't hit our stocks, please."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Twitter kind of called them out on it, rightfully so. So I
entirely agreed.
But I have to say that even though they caught some flack for doing it, at least when it comes to our country, the country that they're based in, at least they're on the right side of it this time.
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah, I'll give them.
Were they? Because I kind of, to me, it kind of felt like, if you're not going to support the injustice that's going on in Hong Kong, but you are going to support the injustice that's going on here in the United States, it kind of felt like, I see this wave going with all my other gamers and companies getting behind it. Let me jump on the bandwagon also.
It's them trying to get on a
I understand
PR
where you're
move.
coming from with that. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that. What I would have liked to have seen, or maybe what I would like to see in the future, is someone at the end of a Hearthstone tournament to hold up their hand and say Black Lives Matter and see what happens.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I really would like to know.
I'm like, oh
That's
shit.
what I want to know. Will they?
Hearthstone tournament?
Will the announcers jump under the table?
No.
Or will they cut to the announcers and the announcers are gonna say, "Fuck yeah,
Hearthstone champions, we challenge you. This is what we want to see."
They're not. I'm telling you, they're not going to cut the cameras. They're not going to shy away from it, because you got 99.999% of everyone in favor of this movement now. So if someone is on a Hearthstone tournament and they speak out, They say, yeah, Black Lives Matter. They throw the fist up. They're gonna throw out the applaud. They're gonna be like, we agree, we agree. We've already put out our statement. We're good to go. We're with you guys. We're with you guys. Those Hong Kong guys, no, fuck them. No, but you guys, yeah, we're with you. We're with you.
Well, here's something that's
it's
interesting.
Also them
though.
getting ahead of it before it ends up in that situation again.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they didn't say anything, and maybe if in retrospect, if that happened again, for example, I don't know that they would have the same reaction this time, because it's not like Hong Kong has really changed that much. Like there's still an issue over there. They're still protesting. Not only that, but the government there would have a wildly different reaction to one of their representatives, so to speak, in Hearthstone saying something versus what our government would do should someone from the US have something to say during a Hearthstone tournament. They're not gonna say, oh well, this person was saying something bad about the cops, you have to ban them from tournaments. They would be like, no.
There's also the fact that Blizzard wouldn't be able to financially recover. Like they definitely would not be able to recover if they made a second large public
second big oopsie
outrage like that.
Yeah. Like it I guess we'll have to see kind of what happens going forward with different things that are going to occur, because as we all know, it's not going to stop here. There's a lot of things that need to change, and the companies that exist are going to have to kind of mold their, if Blizzard and Activision want to keep continuing to say that they stand up for diversity and equality, especially within their own company, and making it about the gamers and all these things that they've been saying, that originally made a lot of people, even within the company, try and boycott them after the Hong Kong event.
Right.
Then they're going to have to start actually, walking the talk. So hopefully this backlash is just a way of saying, hey, you better keep walking the talk, otherwise you're gonna go down and fight in flames. And I hope that's a trend that continues, as opposed to this kind of flip-flopping bullshit that everyone is expecting.
Yeah, and there were a lot of companies, which I was very happy to see. A lot of companies that were saying that they pretty much are in. Well, PlayStation said it first. That's the first one that I saw, and they were pretty much like, and they were pretty much like, we denounce systematic racism and violence against the Black community. We will continue to work towards a future marked by empathy and inclusion, and stand with our Black creators, players, employees, families, and friends. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. And then I started to see other companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, either retweet or share their own message. And then you started to see some companies like 343 Industries, Bethesda, Naughty Dog, Warner Brothers, Call of Duty, Guerrilla Games, Sucker Punch. I mean, even EA released Insomniac games. I can't name all of them.
Every single gaming company stood together with this.
And I mean, and not just the
Pokemon,
and not just the gaming companies. I think Saturday morning I got up and I saw it on my news feed. There was a protest in all 50 states. I'm like, when was the last time all 50 states agreed on anything?
This is a historical time. All 50 states got together and protested, as well as 16 other countries. Everyone is standing in solidarity right now, and it is the biggest movement that we've ever seen.
There was actually a hashtag going around, fuck the kids. did anybody see that with John Boyega?
Did not.
No.
With John Boyega?
I saw John Boyega out there. And I saw his speech.
Yeah, I want to go back and listen to his speech. That I didn't get to do.
It was
But before that all happened,
fucking
he
inspiring.
posted when the protests first started to kick off, he posted on his Twitter account just a single one line post. He was like, "Man, I fucking hate racists." Just like that. I fucking hate racist.
Yeah.
And then someone else retweeted or responded, and they were like, "Hey man, be careful. There are young Star Wars fans that are following you here."
I did see that.
And then he's like,
Oh.
and then he
Okay.
responded. He was like, "I'm not here for them kids."
Yeah, no, exactly.
To
Yeah,
which,
fuck them kids.
to which everybody else was like, "Oh, John Boyega's like, fuck them kids."
I mean, it's true. It's true. It's like I don't know if you guys saw that, not related to video games directly, but the statement that was made by Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah,
I mean, that
Ben
went
and Jerry's went
hugely
in.
viral.
The statement,
mean,
them out there protesting alongside people.
They got arrested.
They got
for
arrested
protesting.
and then also released a flavor that also supports the movement, and proceeds go towards Black Lives Matter.
I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of people said it sounded a lot like grandstanding because they were just trying to make it bigger, and they literally did. The image on Twitter wasn't like, tomorrow we commit our week to standing with the community. No, it was just a big image that said dismantle white supremacy. And I was like, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, holy fuck, like,
Right?
fuck yes. Like, wow, like they cut deep, like they heated up that ice cream scooper really good, and they just fucking went straight to the caramel core, like holy shit. But and then there was a huge like article document that went with it, which, I mean, again, all these companies that are standing up and saying something, it's really good to see. And then to contrast that, I'm sure you guys have seen there's a couple companies out there, not very many, but there's a few that have been either really quiet or have said some things that are very questionable. And holy shit, like Doll's Kill, for example, got absolutely lit up. I mean, if you go to their Instagram page right now, the last 6 images, because they have to keep their aesthetic on Instagram, the last 6 images, all it says is, "We fucked up. We're gonna fix this," because they're holding their heads between their knees right now. They're just hoping that they can come out of this on the other side, and it's really bad. I mean, it's really crazy to think about, like, especially with EA saying what they said, talking about the new NFL game, but you've got Colin Kaepernick who still doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the NFL actually released a statement this weekend also saying they apologized about making the protest about something than the other was.
Yeah.
And the only thing they didn't mention was Colin Kaepernick. They made it a general overall apology. So that was a start, I guess.
That's what I'm saying, kind of, is like they said something. They were along with, everybody else, but it's kind of like what John mentioned earlier. It's like, a lot of them, it does kind of seem like they're not necessarily pandering, but they're definitely just trying to follow suit so that they don't get blasted.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of it's very much a PR move for most.
Yeah,
but
because Skill Cylinder said it best. They can make all the statements that they want. Now I want to see the action that follows it, and I think Servo, you had made that point also earlier on. So it's what comes afterwards. It's the action that needs to be put in motion.
Yeah,
because you can make the statement all you want to. You can put the PR out there. It could be a PR move. It could be, we're jumping on the tidal wave. We're on the bandwagon. Yeah, we're with you guys. But now, once it's time for action, we're going to especially take note then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And not to continue on this route too much, but and not to make it too terribly political, but what I'm going to be looking at personally, and I challenge those of you who are watching right now to pay close attention to the companies that are saying these things and which politicians they give their money to, because that's going to be a big determining factor coming up here towards the end of the year.
Do your fact checking. That's for sure.
Exactly.
I wasn't sure how well it was, but there was a thing about Home Depot and Lowe's and who they support. I'm not going to say which one and which whoever, but I wanted to check that out first, because I know there's going to be a lot of misinformation thrown around with this as well.
There's always someone memeing, trying to make a joke.
There's always false statements going around. There's always someone trying to put someone else in the bad light just because this is a situation they can take advantage of. But do your research, make sure what is going out there is correct. Don't believe false media.
Yeah
I saw it was kind of crazy, actually. The reason I looked it up and realized that I needed to like tell the people was I saw the one that was like CNN is reusing video footage from it was like War of the Worlds or something like that.
Yeah. It was World War Z.
Protest.
It was World War Z. They were using
like,
an overhead helicopter shot.
Yeah. And it was like, wait, is this from? And it was, but guess what? It didn't come from CNN. Someone had photoshopped that and put that up, and then people just started retweeting the shit out of it without doing any research on it. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, so be careful with what you see on Twitter, on what you see on any social media right now, because there are people out there just instigating things that are completely false.
Instigating more hate, actually, which is sad considering this is what we're fighting against.
And one thing I would like to contribute to the mix is something over the past few years I've started to do, and it's kind of really opened me up to a whole other bevy of things. The worst thing you can create, in my opinion, is an echo chamber of consistently your ideas. If as much as you should definitely fact check something that disagrees with your ideals, fact check the things you see that do agree with your ideals, because not a lot of people do that these days, and they go, oh, that totally agrees with my point, therefore it must be true. That disagrees with my point, so it must be false. No, fact check both sides of it. Like try to be in the mindset of, okay, well, I saw this one thing, let me see if I can replicate that elsewhere. Like try to find the truth regardless of whether you believe in it or not. And you may find something and it's totally against your ideals, but it's true, and open yourself up to that too. The best thing you can be in a debate, an argument, or even a mindset in life is informed of all sides. That is one of the strongest positions you can have as a person, in my opinion. And I've really opened myself up to, I agree with it, let me make sure it's right. I disagree with it, let me make sure it's wrong. It's very helpful to adopt that mindset.
And to add just one tidbit to that is, don't be afraid to share that truth with others, especially your friends and family. If you think someone's in the wrong, you don't have to call them out on social media. Send them a DM, send them the link that they posted or the image, and say, hey, just want to let you know, I was looking at this because I thought honestly that I agree with it, or I thought that this was some reason wrong, and I found that actually it's true, or actually it's incorrect. And you don't have to be confrontative. Just make sure that everyone is, again, searching the truth and being truthful in what you find and what you believe on the internet. It's a crazy place out there. There's a lot to kind of sift through, and it's always been that way, especially in this kind of heavy political climate that we're approaching.
Yeah, you can't get away from it. I mean, I scroll through my Facebook and Twitter, and I would say 1 out of every 3 tweets or Facebook messages was about, the protest or any injustice that's going on. And I mean, there was some. You're always gonna have somebody out there that doesn't agree or are trying to make it seem like it's less of a deal than it is. But and I found that those are the people who tend to get the loudest when they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I also found that there were some other counterpoints that worked well as also. So I was happy to see a lot of it because I think it's well past time for a change.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
And
the
that's what we're fighting for right now.
Yeah, exactly. And the interesting thing about it is when you look at these things that are happening right now, it's almost like you can kind of start to think about what the light at the tunnel end of the tunnel looks like,
Mhm.
you know. And I feel like, you know, if we continue doing what we're talking about and being fair to everyone,
Yeah.
then you know things are definitely gonna improve. But we have to work at it. It's really gonna take some development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
A lot of
I was
them.
like, I had so many stories. I'm like, bruv. Was that's all of our
Yeah, that's all we
Yeah.
had for today.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Well-
make one note real quick about something that what we were talking about in chat just now. Mr. Question, a loyal viewer, as of today graduated. So
Congratulations.
being a supporter of the channel, and congrats on your graduation, man.
I tried to
Jono,
say
did you throw out a
congratulations.
congratulation?
I did.
Congratulations.
I
That's
was
what I
going to call
thought I
myself
heard.
out on it. I was like, I said congratulations.
Hey, we gonna make that a thing. It's no longer
mean-
congratulations. It's congratulations.
Congratulations, 2020.
When you graduate, you congratulate them.
Congratulations,
Taylor
2020.
Jono.
Congratulations.
Graduation.
Oh,
shit.
oh,
So
actually-
we skipped it at the beginning. Go ahead.
Actually, there was one thing that I did want to mention as far as our previous topic.
Sure.
There was a lot of things going around that saying that if you're not standing up, if you're not speaking up, then you're part of the problem. I tend to disagree with that a little bit. I mean, you can't force everybody to get out there on the front lines, but there are other ways that you can support. One of the ways that I did like was the if you in our Discord, I dropped it in our sales. There was a bundle by Itch.
The itch.io.
Yep.
Yeah, itch.io bundle. There was like 740 games for $5 or starting at $5. And all of the proceeds would go to the NAACP and bail funds. So, I mean, if you don't want to, like I said, I can't force everybody. I can't tell you that, yeah, you need to be on the front line. You need to be rioting and protesting and looting with it. Not that I'm for rioting and looting. So don't take that
We
out
know
of
what you
context.
meant.
Yeah, exactly.
There are other avenues that you can take to help and
Exactly.
support. And I just posted several links in chat as well for different things, which is the Black Lives Matter donation fund, the US state bail
State
fund.
buns.
Sounds delicious.
You know, you go out there,
Yeah.
you get some US state buns.
Sounds
Yeah.
delicious.
Jono's got his
fucking
hair
hot.
buns in right now.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking at my hair buns.
Exactly.
The National Police Accountability Project, and then also if you're not able to donate as well, there are other avenues. There's several YouTube channels where the ad revenue does go towards helping and supporting as well. So there are plenty of different ways you can go about this and still be a part of the voice right now, be a part of the change that you can be.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's just like what we were just finishing saying is that, again, if you would like to protest and you can protest, then do so peacefully. It doesn't require really anything of you other than, you know, bring a case of water for everybody who's there, or, you know,
Yeah.
bring some milk so that if you guys get tear gas, then you'll have something to kind of soothe your eyes. Not that it helps very much, because guess who got tear gas? Anyway, there's other things you can do. First and foremost, just talking to your friends and family about these issues, helping people who don't understand. Believe it or not, I talked to somebody just today who they moved from small town, in a state on the west hand side. I don't want to be too specific because I'm not trying to call them out or anything, but
Right.
they were on that side of the United States. Not something that they usually have to deal with. And they approached me today because they saw what was on my Twitter page, and they're like, "Hey, this is gonna sound stupid, but what is Black Lives Matter? Like, can you explain it to me?" So we sat down and talked about it, and I, kind of gave them an idea of like, what they should be doing if they are really interested in being a part of the change that we all would like to see in the world. I mean, really, it's it behooves you to try and do these things for yourself and for others. So if you can protest, go for it. If not, that's okay. Donate to help people, bail out from getting wrongfully arrested for protesting. If you can't donate, be a voice
for peacefully protesting.
Yeah, exactly. Be a voice for those who maybe don't understand, or just share these things. And again, when you share, just fact check yourself. Make sure that if it aligns with what you're thinking, make sure that it actually is true. And if it's not, then check that too.
Bingo.
So all the links are there in chat. And of course, if you guys want to discuss it, I've already opened up my personal DMs. You guys want to come and talk to me? I'm more than willing to sit and talk about, at least from my point of view, how I understand, these things and how you can make change in the world. You're welcome to discuss it openly in the Discord, or who knows, maybe we'll even make a special channel for it if necessary. But I don't think anybody here has any problem talking to any of our viewers about these issues.
Not at all.
So come and discuss with us, and not to be too hokey, but hopefully we can all like make this a better place together.
Make this a better world.
Yeah, come out on the other side, that much stronger because we all banded together. So other than that, we kind of skipped it at the beginning, but what games are we playing?
Oh shoot.
Oh, you're right, we didn't. Oh my god.
We all played Minecraft Dungeons the other day. I know, Lat, you said you tried it, or you haven't played it yet?
I haven't. No, I have not tried it, played it, or whichever. And
we'll get you in there eventually.
You guys keep saying that. I don't know. It may not be my forte.
It may not be, but we want you to try it because we're adamant about getting people to do things that we want them to do.
Yeah, just expand your horizons a little bit.
You will play Minecraft Dungeons.
You will play. Me personally, I'm, since we didn't talk about it, but it did get leaked when the new battle pass for Call of Duty is coming out, and it's the 9th of June, the 9th of this month. So you have 2 days left to get that Tamagotchi in the battle pass, and I'm trying to get it so hard. I'm at level like 85 out of 100. I'm fucking grinding my ass off trying to do every challenge every day. So that's all I've been focused on. Anniversary update in Overwatch and Call of Duty. So hit me up. You guys want to get some games in?
Yeah, we played Minecraft Dungeons. I played a little bit of Destiny the other day for the first time in a little while because they had a like large live event that was going on in game. It was like a 90-minute event, and it was kind of a farewell to like one of the large story plots in the game, and it's leading into the next season that's going to be revealed and released on Tuesday on the 9th as well. So that was fun. That was fun to jump back into the game that I absolutely loved for so long and just put down for a little while. Green Hell, been playing a lot more of that. We pretty much explored the entirety of the map at this point, so we've really like gone through everything, and we've made like a fully sustainable camp that doesn't have any threats whatsoever.
Nice.
So that's pretty nice. And then I
Mine is
up...
getting there. I got onto it a little bit, and I've got now just enough nut plants and enough banana plants to keep my levels, you know, so I can explore on a regular basis.
I found out how to make soup, and soup has changed the entire game.
No
Dude.
kidding.
It's
Wait, you didn't know about soup? I showed you soup like the first night.
I wasn't. Do you think I was paying attention? I was going crazy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting eaten by ants.
No,
you should try human meat soup, by the way.
Well, that was my first night. My first night with the game. We were like, oh, tribesmen, and then I was like, ooh, tribesmen drop meat, and I ate like 2 tribesmen's worth of people.
Yeah,
but you gotta boil water and put the meat in there, and then it gives you a better boost and takes less of your sanity because you can't see the meat in there.
Interesting.
Also, scorpion soup.
Yeah, I went in on some scorpion.
I don't trust scorpion soup at all. At all. So another game which I played through and beat all in one session on Tuesday's stream. Cannot recommend this game enough. The Walking Fish 2. It's a $5 game on Steam. You're in a space station. There's a fish with legs. This is a super indie game that came out on Monday. Cannot recommend that game enough to anybody.
Excellent.
It is a comedy horror, and it was well worth the $5.
It sounds
Is it as good as Fishy on Me?
I don't know what that one is.
What was that?
Well. Anyways. What about you, Moose?
Ooh.
Been playing. We actually got back into Escape from Tarkov for a little bit. They just wiped everyone's progress, which they're doing throughout this long beta phase. I decided to see what was up, and it's getting there. It's definitely a solid game again, in my opinion.
Sweet.
And, probably going to be getting into we're talking about maybe bringing it to the channel. Y'all keep an eye out. Monster Train, which is basically Slay the Spire but on a train. So I'm all in. Like, you put that on there. I love Slay the Spire, and I love trains.
That's the card game, right?
Yeah,
where you work up the path using the card, the deck that you build as you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then Monster Train is you build a deck as you go, and then you go down train tracks. So it's it's Slay the Spire with trains. So I'm like, yay!
Yeah.
So definitely, and then cranking into Minecraft Dungeons a little bit because that's just nice to just beat up on voxels every now and again.
Yeah,
dude, Minecraft Dungeons is so much fun.
Quib asks, Hand of Fate when? Is that the one that is Hand of Fate the one that's developed?
It's like the storytelling one.
Oh.
It's like the storytelling one where you're basically like it's kind of like Slay the Spire. But decisions aren't made but with just cards. It's like you choose these story elements, and then sometimes you get into like these like action adventure style battle modes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I've seen this one. Yes. That one definitely is probably up my alley too. So considered me tickled pink at the thought. But yeah.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing some more Stranded Deep. I actually have to find a cure for poison right now because I got bit by a snake.
Oh, so you finally encountered predators or
Yeah.
some sort of enemy.
Well, I encountered a tiger shark, and I found out he'll flip your raft when you're moving between islands, and definitely attack you and drown you while devouring you. So
As they do.
Wow.
yeah, as they do.
Right.
Yeah, so far I've encountered at least 4. There's snake on land, it's like an eel, a lionfish, and a tiger shark. So those are the ones we definitely have to stay away from. I got my first sunburn, put some aloe on it.
I'm
Nice.
dying at the fact that you said them like they were hieroglyphs. I encountered
Yeah.
snake on land.
That's what it was. It was coiled up and it struck me, and I didn't know where it came from.
The great feathered sky beast came down.
It's that's hilarious.
But I also downloaded a new game called Liberated, which is a comic book based game in Thy Kingdom, which is kind of like a tabletop RPG. So, but I'll probably be playing some more Stranded Deep tomorrow and
Oh, it's Rex.
Tuesday.
Hi, Rex.
What's up,
Yeah,
Rick?
that smell like burritos. Yeah, burrito. He's like, sweet a burrito. Like I'm eating it right now, dum dum.
But can I has Chipotle?
Can I have Chipotle? I'm a spicy boy. All right. Well, I think that just about kills it for the rest of the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Any-
Well, everybody, don't forget
folks.
to what?
Don't forget to what?
Oh, I was gonna say don't forget something, but Moose, did I cut you off?
No, I just
Were
said
you
we
gonna
done
say
did, boys.
Oh, we did it. Yo, no shit, we did. We
Yeah.
fucking killed that shit.
Murdered the
Annihilated
shit
it.
out of it.
Fucking
Yeah, dude.
bitch. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
So don't forget to join our Facebook community if you're interested in keeping up with all the things that we do. Join that. Join Discord. Hit us up on YouTube. Subscribe there. Hit us on the Instagram. Hit us on the Twitter. Go to our website, remnantgamers.com. You can listen to this wonderful podcast over and over and over until your ears bleed. And
And also catch up on all of our
Boost.
previous ones on Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, or iTunes. Or the audio
There you
platform
go.
of your choice.
There we go.
hit them.
All right. Moose, take us out.
Ta-da! My turbulent tropical tattletales, we've trounced the topics and must turn towards tending our therapeutic tap of anime titties and other tawdry tributes. Therefore, we settle the terrain of the taboo and tune our telemetry tandem to the tedium of the rest of our taxing time, to which we say thank you to our ever so tempestuously tempered team of tubular tributes. May we never incur treason within your tightly tuned ranks, and forevermore shall we trumpet our toasts to all of you, like today and every day is Thanksgiving. You terrific tycoons of tilt, good night, and may your cosmetic finger procedures go to plan.
Don't get booby thumbs.
Don't
Get tit thumbs. Everyone.
Don't do it. Good night, guys.
All of you tit thumbs.
See you later.
We
Thumbs
we
for
love
all.
you.
Good
Love-
night.
Love and peace.
Tit thumbs forever.